Delco. What is Delco? Urban Dictionary, maybe the best definition of any place in the history of any place. Delco is the nickname for Delaware County. Not just a place to live, it's a way of life. Delco isn't something you obtain with a short visit while you're passing through. Never has been, or don't actually live here, you just won't understand. Delco is something you can spot across the bar while out of town. Speaking of bars, there's 42-to-1 ratio when it comes to bars to libraries. Delco people love being from Delco. I don't know if there's anything special from Delco, except being a Delco guy, I kind of like it.
All right, what is up, Delaware County? Welcome back for another high school baseball preview episode. We got Logan Howe and Coach Brian Palmore from Sun Valley. Coach Logan, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good, appreciate you guys taking the time to come in. Before we kind of get into the 2026 season, just wanted to talk a little bit about last year. Obviously, not quite the season you guys wanted, but what can you kind of take away from last year to try and apply that to this year?
We will be young this year, and we had some young players get a lot of experience last year, and I think that's going to really help us this year.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely had a lot of sophomores up last year, and they're turning to juniors. Hopefully they'll be able to adjust. They definitely had a lot of work on varsity last year, so for sure we're going to have a lot of young guys. We got them with some experience, so hopefully they'll be good this year.
So who are some of those guys that we should kind of expect to be a part of this like new core going into this year?
As far as pitchers, Logan Coleman, Austin Miaza would be two of our main guys coming back as juniors. And some position players, one Ryan Messick would be a core guy coming back that basically he started all last year as a sophomore.
I'm guessing Austin's Paul's brother or cousin or
his brother.
Yeah. And so. Same with Jackson and Ryan, right?
They're cousins.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I probably would have said brothers. What about you? Anybody else you think that's going to kind of step in? You're a senior, correct?
Oh, yeah, I'm a senior, yeah. Yeah, he's kind of got them all, yeah. Those guys definitely played a lot last year, and they're definitely going to step up for us this year, too.
So how long have you been the coach for this team?
So I've been here 9 years, and this is my 5th year as the head coach.
How did you get involved? Are you a teacher at the school as well?
No. Actually, more or less in the community, run youth sports, and got myself involved at the middle school 10 years ago, and just kind of went from there.
You said something with, was it Aston A Sports? Is that what you?
Aston Athletic Association kind of, involved with that heavily, and just kind of kept, pushing to get into the school. And, like we have a lot of community guys coaching at Sun Valley. If, some of them already, our football coach, our wrestling coach, our basketball coaches, and we kind of like want to give back to the community and get involved with as much as we can. So
who else will be on your staff for this year? Any new additions?
So yes, I have my returning JV coach, Tony Valente, who was a former player.
I played at Brandywine with him for a year. Yep.
Yes. And Ken Kissinger coming from Upper Darby. He was the head coach there the last 2 years. He is now a teacher at Delco, and we hired him as our assistant varsity coach at this time. And we have some volunteer coaches on the side as they kind of rotate in and out. But those are our two main guys that have come back this year.
So turning the page a little bit to 2026, how have you guys kind of looked? You said you've been doing some off-season workouts. How has the team kind of looked both from the player and the coach perspective?
Go ahead, you can go first.
We've been getting a lot of work in our gym and stuff, and we've definitely been able to prepare a lot of our guys well as for what we can right now with all the weather and stuff. But I feel like we definitely are being able to prepare our guys, and they'll be ready to go by the time the season starts, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be young. I can tell you that right now. We have 3 returning seniors that were juniors last year. 2 were varsity players. Logan himself here was our shortstop. Jaden Kamasak is a returning varsity player as a senior. But we have some up-and-coming freshmen and sophomore and the junior class. But we have a real big sophomore freshman class right now that has a lot of experience in baseball as far as travel, if you want to say. And that freshman class was part of a Little League team that was very good.
It was one of the Aston Middletown teams probably, because I think that was – I guess this is the year where the media team that went to the World Series, that Aston team probably would have went if they beat media.
Yes.
Right? Who are some – I'm trying to think of some of the guys on that team.
So as far as the kids that were Aston players, you have Logan Mast, Braden Myers.
I remember Braden.
Dom DiNardo. Luke Williams was on that team. I could be missing a couple more, but
that was a great class of players there.
Yes, so they've all come to Sun Valley, which is very fortunate for us.
So how, for a team this year, how do you kind of value like success in terms of win as opposed to like development? Like how do you kind of weigh both of those things in terms of what would make it a successful year?
I never look at wins and losses as a successful year for us. I look how we compete. If we compete, that will happen for us. And it's shown before in classes I've had before when I had Icon Jones and Josh Lillis. They competed, which pushed everybody else. And we had good years those years. And that's what we're looking to do now. I got some upperclassmen that, that can show the way of competing. And I think these younger guys have seen that winning in teams they played for. And I'm hoping that helps us going forward.
So Logan, from being one of the few seniors on the team, how do you feel about maybe stepping into more of like a vocal leadership role? Because I know you guys had, Sabo was here last year, Jackson was here last year, Max Bartoff was here last year. So how do you feel about kind of stepping into more of a leader role at a pretty young team?
I feel like I'll definitely be able to. I feel like the other two seniors will definitely be able to. Just got to make sure like we're showing them how to keep on competing and how to like make sure they're still competing the entire game, like throughout the whole game. If they have a bad at bat or whatever, like make sure they get right through it, forget about it, keep everybody going.
So you guys are, of course, the lone Delco rep in the Ches-Mont. So how important is it to bring the Delco grit and attitude when you go on the road to some of these teams that are, you guys can get pretty out, like Oxford, it's like some of these schools are pretty far from where you guys are playing.
Yeah, it's definitely important to show our roots. And, we're blue collar team like most of the Delco teams are. And now we're going to go out there and play to the final out and we compete. That's, and there is some rough rides sometimes, but it's part of the league we're in, and they have to come to us too. And so all I know is our games are usually always close. We never make it easy for anybody, but we're looking to make that next step that we've kind of fallen off the last couple of years. But I feel like this is our most athletic team I've had probably since the senior year of Icon Jones. That team was very athletic, and I feel like we're a very athletic, deeper team than we've been in the past.
Was that 2023? Because we covered their senior year. I think it was our first year.
Yeah,
so I think that was 2023. Yeah.
And he had a big year.
He's having a great college career too.
Oh yeah.
I guess a kind of similar question to you, just kind of trying to bring, like when you go on the road or when people come in, just kind of trying to like, stand out in a conference that's all those teams that are not really around here,
Yeah, just make sure we compete the entire game. Like, we don't make any game easy for anybody. Like, the entire game, we're always trying our best out there. Even if we're down, we're trying to make sure we come back. Everything, just always make sure we're competing, showing that we're not going to give up on anybody.
So who is typically considered, I know you guys were in the Del Val for a while, like considered the rivals for you guys in the Ches-Mont? Because it's not a geographical rival.
No, really, there's not. In my opinion, like we have once in a while, there's a little rivalry, if you want to say, because of other sports when we play, but there's really not. Every game, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And we enjoy being in it. It's nice to play that kind of competition all the time.
Well, since we don't get to talk too much about the Ches-Mont, who are some teams, just kind of tell the audience, like that are typically like the top contenders around the league? On
our side of the Ches-Mont, I would say it's typically Ruston is one of the top teams on our side of the league. Great Valley had a great year last year. Came, had a great season and made playoffs for the first time in a long time. And Unionville, always tough team to compete with on our side. And then the other side is the Downingtowns, the Coatesvilles, you name them. You see the competition we have to play against, and it's good for us though. So it's really good for us.
There's two divisions.
Yes.
Is it split up just purely geographical?
I don't know.
I know that for the
it doesn't seem like it because there's a Westchester East is on the other side. So it seems like they try to, but our side is Kennett, Oxford, Great Valley, Ruston, and Unionville.
So do you play them twice and the other ones once? Okay, yeah.
And the other side is one.
For the Central League, like they don't really officially call it like divisions, but like the 5A schools, there's 6 of them. They play each other twice. Yeah. The 6A schools, and then vice versa for that question. Super important question: what is a Vanguard? Because I'm looking at the logo. I'm looking at the logo here.
A Vanguard, it's an eagle with wings, or
it looks kind of like
legs and everything.
I can
All of
say
it.
this
I
is
don't
our
know.
new logo. They put it together last year,
Okay.
so I'm not very familiar with it.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a graduate, I do not know what it is.
No,
It looks like in the family of like a griffin or like a phoenix
Yeah,
or something
That's
like
what
that.
we were way
yeah,
back
yeah.
when we were a Griffin.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you were a student, what you were the
We
Griffins
were
or
Vanguard, but the mascot was called a Griffin at the time.
Well, so how cool is it for you to be staying with the alma mater to stay in the program?
It's very cool. Like that's kind of like what I was looking to do once, I had that time in my life to get involved in coaching, was go back and just like a lot of the other guys that are there now, the alumni, and it's a good thing to do.
So
I like it.
What do you think overall is kind of going to be the strength of the team on the field, just purely on paper going in? What are you expecting?
I feel defensively we'll be very versatile. We're very athletic, and then our top end pitching will help us out. We're gonna have to compete at the plate. It's not an easy task in our league, if you want to say, but hitting's not great overall. I feel like in the leagues, especially last year, it felt like everybody was kind of down with it. But hopefully our bats can get better. But we're definitely going to be a very defensively oriented small ball team, and expect the little things to help us.
I always found it hard to hit at Sun Valley with the white school in center field. I played for Upper Darby in the Delco League, and I work for Wayne now. But we played Aston in the championship in 2021, and we faced this guy Chris Murphy, who had recently just been released by the Astros. So this guy's coming from Double-A baseball to facing us with that school, and I'm like, this is just like, why are we even showing up to the field?
It can be a home field advantage.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys are used to it enough, at least that other teams that come into it like might not be expecting it much. But I think I really like your field. I like the press box because not many fields have the. We're trying to stream all these games at different fields, and it's just it's a nightmare. We had Game 5 of the Delco League Finals this year. We streamed it, and I'm blanking on your athletic director's name, but he came and let us in so we could stream it up there.
Pat Rafferty.
Yes, Pat. Yeah, that was, which is very nice of him. But yeah, I think I wanted to real quick talk about kind of post high school. Logan, do you have any kind of idea what you want to do? Is playing baseball a potential, or are you kind of just looking for schools at this point?
Right now, so I might be going to Newman University for pre-PT. I have talked to the baseball coach a couple of times, and he's talked to me. He said that as long as I get my videos in and all that stuff, I'd definitely be able to get looked at a little bit.
Do you just like Aston that much?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I guess would Lewis would still be there, right? I think he would have
I
one
think
more
he did his
year,
last
right?
year, yeah.
It's actually surprising. There's not as many Delco guys on Newman as you would expect.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come in. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys out there and hopefully, showing the Ches-Mont what Delco can do.